Okay, so today we have to start with a topic which is known as ZBF. Okay, so ZBF stands for Zone Based Firewall. Okay, now what is Zone Based Firewall? Basically, we want our Cisco router to work exactly like a firewall. Okay, that is just zone based firewall. Fine. Next thing, as I told you, that zone based firewall is a feature which you can enable on the iOS. That means this feature can be enabled only on Cisco routers. You cannot enable this zone based firewall feature on the Cisco switches or on any other Cisco appliances. Fine. Next thing, why do we require zone based firewall? So I told you that there are certain problems. Every topic which we are going to discuss in our classes are just a solution to overcome the problem, right? So basically we just need to discuss the problems and we will eventually get to know why that solution has been evolved. Is it clear? So basically in the last class we have discussed about reflexive ACLs, right? So basically reflexive ACLs were having two major drawbacks. The first one was, while we are creating the ACL, okay, it's impossible, or you can say it's complex to configure multiple ACL statements for user traffic, right? That's what we learned in the yesterday's class. Also, when a session has been created on the router which is configured with reflexive ACL, by default reflexive ACL gives a window of 300 seconds. Now what, I hope everybody is clear with the first statement. Now I would like to tell you about the second problem. Okay, right now we are just discussing the problems associated with the reflexive ACL. Okay, so what is the second problem I'm talking about? This is my router R1, that's my router R2, that's my router R3. Okay, let's suppose I have configured reflexive ACL on my router R2. Fine. I have told my router that whenever you receive any packet from 10.1, okay, you need to create a reflexive ACL. Now, in the yesterday's class, we have seen that when the reflexive ACL is created on a router, by default, the time period is 300 seconds, right? By default, the time period is 3 seconds. That means that is the idle time. Let's suppose that if the connection has been established between R1 and R3, and let's suppose that there is an attacker over here, within that time period of 300 seconds, if it tries to send any packet, the packet will be forwarded to the router, because if attacker comes to know about the source IP, destination IP, source port number, destination port number, then this attacker will be able to forward the packet, right? That is what we discussed in the last class. Okay, so this is the problem. So to overcome the problems of the reflexive ACL, and most importantly, if we want to use Cisco router to work as firewall, we can enable a feature called zone-based firewall on the Cisco router. Okay, now next thing, what is the concept of zone-based firewall? So basically, just hold on. So basically, zone-based firewall, okay, it has a concept. It says that we have to divide the router interfaces into zones, and this configuration needs to be done manually. Now, what does it means? It means that, let's suppose that you are having a topology, something like this. These are your end users. Then you are having a switch. Then you are having a customer edge router, which is further connected with the ISP. Now you want this particular router to work similar to the firewall. So you can configure a feature like zone-based firewall. Now this zone-based firewall says that you have to divide the router interfaces into the zones. That means you have to manually configure the zones on the router. Now let's suppose that on this interface of the router, I have configured this interface of the router as insecure zone. Okay, and this interface of the router as the secure zone. Fine. Let's suppose that there is another interface of the router, and there are certain servers connected on this interface. Fine. I can configure this router as DMZ zone. DMZ zone means demilitarized zone. That means the demilitarized zone is something which demilitarized zone is basically your where you have kept your servers. Okay, we will talk about the DMZ zone in detail in the future classes, but as of now, just try to understand. Let's suppose that if I have configured this particular interface as insecure zone, this particular interface as secure zone, while this interface has been configured as DMZ zone. These are just the names. These are just the name. You can put any name while configuring the zones on the router. So I just told you that manually you have to configure the zones on the router. Now what happens if you configure the zones on the router? By default, inter-zone communication is not allowed. That means if this insecure zone, if any user in insecure zone would like to forward a traffic to the secure zone, that traffic will be dropped by the router because it is enabled with the zone-based firewall. Okay, and by default the inter-zone communication is not allowed. Is it clear? Until you configure policies on router to make the communication happen, and such policies are known as inspection rules. So just to summarize it, the zone-based firewall says that you have to divide your router interfaces into the zone, okay, and you have to configure the zone name. Let's suppose that this interface is configured with the name as insecure, this interface is configured with the name secure, while this interface is configured with the name DMZ zone. Okay, so by default, if any traffic which is generated in one zone of the router, it will not be forwarded to another zone. This is by default action until you do not configure the policies on the router. Until and unless you will not allow the router to forward the traffic from one zone to another zone, it will not forward. And the policies which you are going to create on the router are known as inspection rules. Everybody is clear to this? Any queries, please let me know. Any queries, Mr. Ben?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Mike, I believe you have joined a little late. Are you clear with this?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Amit ji, Mr. Imran?
Good, no problem.
Okay, thank you. In the simple terminology, let's suppose this is my router. This interface is F0/0. This interface is F0/1. This interface is F0/2. This interface is F0/3. Okay. So if you want to enable the zone-based firewall on the router, you have to configure the zones on the router. Let's suppose this zone is secure zone. This zone is, let's suppose, DMZ zone, where you have kept all your servers. Let's suppose this zone is called accounts zone. Let's suppose all your accounts users are connected here. Let's suppose this is your developer zone. That means all your software developer or the website developer are connected with this interface. So by default, if any user try to send the packet from account to the server, it will be blocked because inter-zone communication is not allowed on the zone-based firewall until and unless you do not configure the policies. Is it clear? And this is how the firewall works. So let me just come up to the practical part. Along with the practical, I will keep you telling the theoretical aspect. Okay. So this is how I'm going to have my topology. Let me just tell you how I am going to configure it. So basically, this router R1, let's suppose that this router is your user. Fine. And this is your customer edge router, and you can assume any user on the WAN side or within your private network. Let's suppose you can also assume that this is your private network. Okay, that's your router, and this is another zone, or you can say this is your server zone or whatever it is. Now I am going to configure this interface of the router with the IP 12.1.1.1. This will be configured with 12.1.1.2. This router R2 will be configured with the IP address 23.1.1.2 and it will be 23.1.1.3. Also, what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure a loopback on router R1 1.1.1.1 and on R3 3.3.3.3. And I will perform all the configuration of the zone-based firewall on router R2. Is it clear to everybody? So let's configure the IP addresses. Let's have end-to-end reachability first of all. And then we will jump to the zone-based firewall practical. So this is our topology. Let me just check the connectivity with my Eve machine. Yes, the connectivity is there because my Eve is having the IP address 150.1.7.1.28. Now let's configure the IP address. Click on router R1. First of all, you need to run the no command. Similarly, take the access of router R2, run new command, move to
Sir,
router
sorry to interrupt
R3,
you.
run the new command. That's your R1. That's R2. And finally, this is R3. Okay. So I hope it is visible to all of you. So enable configuration terminal. First of all, change the host name R1. You can just write it as user. Move to router R2. Enable configuration terminal. Host name R2 as your zone based firewall. Then router enable configuration terminal host name R3 as your WAN user or ISP user, whatever it is. Okay, you can assume it at anything. Now I will configure the IP addresses accordingly what I have mentioned over here. So it will be 12.1.1.1, 12.1.1.2. So interface is 0/0, no shutdown. IP address will be 12.1.1.1, 255.255.255.0. And also I need to enable a routing protocol. So let me enable the routing protocol, router EIGRP1 network 0.0.0.0. That's it. Move to router R2. On router R2, I will configure the IP address. Interface key 0/0, no shutdown. IP address will be 12.1.1.2, 255.255.255.0. Interface key 0/1, no shutdown. IP address will be 23.0.0.2, 255.255.255.0. I hope now everyone is clear with the fact that how I am giving the IP addresses on the router according to the naming of the device, right? I have already told you. Let's enable the EIGRP protocol, router EIGRP1 network. I would like to, okay, along with that, I have missed one configuration that on router R1, I would like to configure a loopback IP address 1.1.1.1, 255.255.255.255. That's it. All done. This interface will also get enabled with the EIGRP protocol because we are running the command network all. On router R3, interface is 0/0, no shutdown. IP address will be 23.0.0.3, 255.255.255.0, and then route, let me create a loopback 2, interface loopback 1. IP address will be 3.3.3.3, 255.255.255.255. Done. Router EIGRP1 network 0.0.0. So we have configured EIGRP protocol on all the routers. Now you can just check the IP address on all the routers. Do show IP interface brief. Pipe exclude unassigned. So these are the configuration of the IP addresses on the router R1. On router R2, do show IP interface brief. Pipe exclude unassigned. That's it. And do show IP interface brief, pipe exclude unassigned. I hope everybody is clear. Now, if I check the routing table on the router R3, do show IP route. You can see router is learning all the networks. The network of 12 is there and the network of 1 is also there. Done. So there is end-to-end reachability. How can we prove this? Just ping 1.1.1.1 from router R3 having the source IP, or you can just define the source interface. You can see you have the option. Ethernet 0/0. You can see you are able to ping that. And since I would like to have a reachability from 1.1.1.1 to 3.3.3.3, so what I can do, I can just write loopback 1. So there is an end-to-end reachability between 1.1.1.1 and 3.3.3.3. Everybody is clear to here? Any queries? Please let me know. All are good?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now what I'm going to do, I will configure Telnet protocol on my router R3. So how do we enable Telnet protocol? Line VTY 0 to 4, then no login and transport input all. That is the command to configure EIGR, Telnet protocol. Now just move to router R1 and try to take the access. Do Telnet 3.3.3.3 having the source interface. Basically, I am trying to take the access of the router R3 with the loopback interface. Okay, this one. So do Telnet loopback 1 source interface. I think just hold on. Telnet 3.3.3.3. Then you can see we have this interface. Okay, I just missed this syntax. Source interface, loopback 1. You can see we are able to get the access from router R1. That's it. Now, and even if I try to ping 3.3.3.3, having the source interface and loopback 1, we are able to ping, that is from 1.1.1.1 to 3.3.3.3. There is end-to-end reachability. You can see that. Now, just jump into the practical. I will configure this router R2. Okay, and let me just tell you what is the task that we have to perform. Task. So our task is that we want to pass all the, or let's suppose we want to pass the Telnet traffic from IP 1.1.1.1 to the IP 3.3.3.3. Okay, that's it. So basically our task is we want that the router which is having IP 1.1.1.1, when it tries to take the telnet of the IP 3.3.3.3, it should be successful. That is our task. Fine. Now, what are the steps to configure zone-based firewall on your router? So we are, that's your topology. Okay. So right now we are on R2. Let me just go step by step. The step one on the router is to create zones. This is the first step on your router. Okay. So how do you create the zones? The command is zone security. And then you have to write down a name of the zone. As I told you that the name could be anything. It can be ABC, it can be insecure, it can be secure, it can be anything. So let's suppose I give the name as secure. Exit. Now, if I put the question mark, you are getting only three options. Either run the no keyword or the exit keyword or the description. So let me just write down the description, and the description means you are just giving the inputs. You are just giving the information. So I'm just saying this is my secure zone. That's it. Now I want this interface of the router which is connected with R3. This particular interface, this should be configured as the insecure zone, while this one is the secure zone. Okay. So first of all, as again the step 1 says that you have to configure the zones on the router. So there is a secure zone which we have configured, and then we are having an insecure zone. So zone security, and then you have to give a name. See, put question mark, it says please give the name. And what is the name? Name is insecure. Is it clear? And then let me just give the description. This is my insecure zone. That's it. I have created 2 zones on my router. Fine. Now, how do you verify this? You can run this command show zone security, and it say the router says that you have created a zone having the name secure. Okay. There is another zone which you have created is insecure. Fine. Now, do you see something called zone self, which I have not created, but it is there on the router? Now, let me tell you, the self zone is created by the router itself whenever you are going to perform any zone based firewall configuration. Now, what is the purpose of zone self? We will talk about this after concluding the practical. Is it clear? Right now, we are just going to focus on these 2 zones which we have manually configured. Show run pipe section zone. So you can see this is the configuration which I have performed as of now. Let me just copy this. Okay. So that's your step 1 to configure zones on router, and these are the commands. Done. Now we will talk about the step 2 on the router. Move to the global configuration mode. Step 2. Step 2 says that you have to define interfaces for the zones. That means you have configured a secure zone, you have configured an insecure zone, but which interface will work on the secure zone? Which interface will work in the insecure zone? That you need to define in the step 2. So how do we configure it? Let's move to your topology. Since this is my secure zone, that's my insecure zone, right? So I want the interface E0/0 of my router to work into the secure zone, and interface E0/1 to work into the insecure zone. Is it clear? So let's configure it. Interface E0/0. Then you have to run a command zone member security, and you have to manually define which zone this interface will be part of. You can see there are only 3 zones: insecure, which I have created, secure zone, which I have created, and the self zone, which is created by your router itself. We will talk about this in the later in today's session only. Okay, so I want this interface to work into the secure zone. Is it clear? Now there is another interface also, interface E0/1. I would like this interface to work into the which zone? Into the insecure zone, right? So insecure, that's it. Now, if you would like to verify this configuration, you can run this command show zone security, execute this command, and again you will be able to see the output. Show zone security. Your router says that you have created a zone called secure, and this interface is the member of this zone. Similarly, there is an insecure zone having this member. Self zone, again, the by default created self zone, which we will talk about in the later classes. Fine. Now let's talk about step 3. Now, what is step 3? You have to create class map. You have to create class map. Just hold on. Do show run pipe section zone. Do show run interface E0/0. Step 2, to configure interface in zone. Do show run interface E0/1. So that's your second step which you have configured on the routers. Now let's talk about the step 3. Step 3, I say that you have to create class map. Now what is class map, which you need to understand now? Just hold on. So what is class map? Class map, just wait, is used to define interesting traffic, okay, or the traffic on which action has to be performed. Now, I have given you a task, if you remember. I have given you a task that you need to perform the configuration in such a way that traffic from 1.1.1.1 should be allowed to pass through to reach to 3.3.3. And which traffic? Telnet traffic. That means you have to tell your router that you have to perform the action on this particular traffic. Is it clear? So on router R2, I just hold on. That's my topology. R1 is there, R2 is there, R3 is there. The R3 is configured with the loopback address 3.3.3.3. This is configured with 1.1. I want whenever traffic pass through 1.1.1.1 to 3.3.3, zone-based firewall should inspect the traffic. Basically, inspection means your router should see what traffic is passing through the router R2. The zone-based firewall should see. And then whenever it is going to receive any packet, it will create a reflexive entry by itself. So the concept is quite similar to the reflexive ACL. You have to tell your zone-based firewall that this traffic is allowed to pass through secure zone to the insecure zone. And whenever you receive the traffic from insecure zone, just check the reflexive entry. Is it clear? So that is why in the reflexive ACL, you were creating the ACL only. But in the zone-based firewall, you have to create the class map on the router. Is it clear? To define the traffic on which action has to be performed. So I have told you that the class map is something which is used to define the interesting traffic. Interesting traffic means the traffic on which the zone-based firewall should take the action. Is it clear? Now, whenever you are going to talk about the class map on the routers, there are two types of class map. The first one is traditional class map. That means you are using class map for QoS. That means quality of service. And there is another type of class map which is class map type inspect. It is used for zone-based firewall. So while configuring the class map on your router, you have to make sure that you are using the class map for the zone-based firewall. Okay, let me just prove this. If I move to router R2 and if I run this command class put question mark, you can see I can just directly give the name ABC. Now this class map is actually means that you have configured a class map which is traditional. Is it clear? This is your traditional class map. But if I would like to configure a class map for zone-based firewall, what I need to do, I will write the statement class map. Then you have the option to write type. Okay, so if you configure class map type, okay, put question mark, then you have multiple options. You can see there is something called inspect. You can say configure firewall class map. So if you configure this keyword on the router, that means you are creating the class map for the zone-based firewall. Just keep this thing in your mind, because whatever I'm going to teach you, probably everything you are going to encounter in your CCI security lab troubleshooting section. Okay, so there is a possibility that you will get this section, this zone-based firewall, in your troubleshooting part of your CCI security lab examination. Fine, that's why just go through it deeply. Now, coming back to the fact that we have to configure step 3, you have to create a class map. So what class map we need to create? Class map type inspect, and you have to give a name. See, it says, just hold on. It says you have to give the class map a name. So let me give this name as CMap. And why do we use this class map? As I have already told you that the class map is used to define the interesting traffic, the traffic on which router has to perform the action. Now, to define the traffic on the router under the class map, there are two options. To define the interesting traffic on the router, there are two options. The first option is either you can create an ACL. Okay, that means you will create an ACL on the router and you will call that ACL in the class map, or you can just directly inspect the protocol. What I'm trying to say is, let's suppose this is my router R1, this is my router R2 and R3. Now, if I tell my router R2 that whenever you receive any traffic from the telnet protocol, then please perform the action according to the zone-based firewall policy. So that means I am classifying my traffic on the basis of the protocol. But let's suppose that if you want to classify the traffic on the basis of IP addresses only, if you have told the router that you need that whenever you receive the traffic from 10.1.1.1 to the destination 20.1.1.1, perform this action. So in that scenario, you can create the ACL. Is it clear? So you have two options to define your interesting traffic. Either you can configure ACL or you can configure directly the protocol. So first of all, I will perform the practical along with the ACL. Okay. So move to a router R2. See, put question mark. Your router says match. What? Put question mark. It says either you can define access group. Access group means the ACL, or you can define the protocol directly, right? So before defining the access group, we need to create the ACL. So let's create the ACL first of all. So let's suppose IP access list extended, and let's name this ACL as Cisco. And then what I want my any traffic which has been originated from the host 1.1.1.1 to the destination host 3.3.3.3 for the port number 23. Okay, it should be inspected. That's it. So here, if you notice, I can define the IP addresses. Along with that, I can define the protocol also. 23 is what? Telnet. So with the ACL, you have an advantage to define the ACL, IP addresses along with the protocol. Okay. Now, what I need to do, I need to call this ACL into the class map. So class map, type, inspect, and then you have to give the name of this class map, which I have already given CMap. Then match, put question mark, I need to call the access group. Access group, put question mark, here you can call the access list. So what is the name of the access list which we have created? It is Cisco. Just hold on. Match access group, and then the access list name. We have given the name Cisco only, right? So CISCO. Just wait. Match access group name, and then you have the option Cisco. That's it. So do show run pipe section access list. So first of all, if you are using the access list to match in the class map, you have to create the ACL. Okay, so I'm just going it one by one. The step 3 is to define the class map. You can define the class map according to the ACL and according to the protocol. We have used the ACL, and then do show run pipe section class map. You have performed this configuration. Just hold on. For now, let me just remove it. What is this match all? Just hold on. So these are the configuration which I have performed under the step 3. Now we need to configure step 4. In the step 4, we need to configure policy map. Now what is policy map? Policy map is used to define what action needs to perform on the traffic which matches class map. Okay, so that's your 4th step. Now you in the step 3 you have already defined the router that you need to perform the action on this traffic. But what action has to be performed? Either you have to deny the traffic, or you have to drop it, or you have to pass it, or what action you need to perform, that you need to define in the policy map. So now run this command, policy map. Again, the policy map is of 2 types. Okay, policy map is of 2 types. First of all, traditional policy map used for QoS. Then we have policy map type inspect, which is used for zone based done. So now I'm going to configure step 4 on my router to create policy map to define my action. And how do we create it? Policy map type inspect, and then you have to give the name of the policy map. So name of the policy map is P map. And then you have to call this class map under the policy map, since in the policy map you are going to define what action has to be performed, but on which traffic. So you need to call the class map. So the command is class type inspect. And what was the name of the class map which you have configured? The name of the class map was CMap. CMap, and then put question mark. How many options you have? You have an option to drop the packet. You have the option to inspect the packet. You have the option to pass the traffic. So I would like to inspect the traffic. Right now we are going to talk about the inspection only. Okay, that's it. And then exit. Do show run pipe section policy map. So these are the commands which you have run on your router under the step 4. Just wait. Note. Step 4. Fine. Now finally, there is the last step, which is step 5. That means you need to create zone pair. Now what are zone pairs? In step 5, we are going to create zone pairs. So now what are the purpose of the zone pair? Since we have created an insecure zone, right guys? We have created a secure zone on the router. We have created a class map. We have created a policy map. So we need to tell the router that whenever you receive the traffic on the from the insecure zone and the traffic has to be forwarded into the secure zone, please proceed. Okay, please proceed according to policy map. So basically now we would like to call the policy map under the zone pair. So if I have to conclude this, basically I need to tell my router that this router is configured with the zone based firewall. I need to tell my router that whenever you receive the traffic from a secure zone which has to be forwarded to the insecure zone, please perform the action according to the zone based firewall configuration. And according to the zone based firewall configuration, there is a class map which defines on which traffic you have to perform the action, and there is a policy map which defines the what action has to be performed. Okay, so we will call this policy map under the zone pair. Just see, don't worry, I will just conclude all these commands once again. So now I will create the zone pair. So what is the configuration? Zone pair, zone pair, and then you have to write security, and then you have to write the zone pair name. So let me just write the zone pair name as secure to insecure zone. Okay, because we are forwarding the traffic from secure to insecure zone. So zone pair security, and then you have to define the source, which is going to be the source zone. So the source zone is obviously going to be the secure. This is our task, that you have to make sure the traffic forwarding from 1.1.1.1 should be able to inspect to 3.3.3.3. So secure zone, and then you have to define the destination. Destination is what? Insecure zone which you have created. Okay. Now I have to call the policy map. So policy map, sorry, you need to write the keywords service policy, and then type, and then you have to write the inspect keyword, and then you have to write the name of the policy map which you want to map with the zone pair, which is P map. Okay, that's it. Exit. Now I would first of all will go through all the configuration and then will prove you all this configuration. Okay, no need to worry. So first of all, do show run pipe section zone. Step 1. Then do show run interface is 0/0. I will share this notepad file with all of you. Step 3. What was step 3? The step 3 was to configure the class map. And what configuration did we perform? Do show run pipe section class map. Okay, let me just remove this because I didn't use this keyword. Also, we have created an access list. So do show run pipe section access list. Then in the step 4, we have to configure the policy map. Then in the step 5, we have to create the zone pair. Just wait. Do show run pipe section, zone pair. Done, guys. So this is the overall configuration which I have performed on your router. So just please pay attention. The first step was that I need to create zones on router. How do we create the zones? This is how we created a zone. Zone security, and this is the name of the zone. Then you have given any random description. Then you have created another zone, zone security. This is the name, insecure. Just hold on. That's it. Now, what is the second step? Second step is to configure interfaces with zones. You have to define which interface will work in which zone. That's it. These are the commands. Then step 3, you need to create class map. And why do we use class map? Class map is used to define the traffic on which action needs to perform. Okay, and then we have to create policy map. Why do we use policy map? Here we define the action. Sorry for the misspelling if it happens while writing all these things down. And then finally we need to create the zone pair. Zone pair means, see, in the policy map, I have told the router that I have created a policy map with the name PMAP. I have told that whatever traffic matches the CMAP, you have to inspect it. Inspect means that you have to create a reflexive ACL for that. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. And then finally, I need to create the zone pair. Zone pair means that I have to tell my router that whenever you are going to receive the traffic from this source, okay, the source is secure zone, to the destination zone, which matches the policy map. And what is policy map? Policy map says that whatever traffic is going to map the CMAP, and what CMAP says, this CMAP says. Is it clear? So it will inspect the traffic. Now, everyone is clear with the configuration part as of now? Just do let me know. If you are not able to understand the meaning of any commands, please let me know, else I will go ahead. Any queries, Mr. Mike?
Yes, I do. Yeah, so it looks like you never defined any pair in the zone pair in the reverse direction.
Sorry, I couldn't get you, Mr. Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so for the zone pairs, you did not define anyone in the opposite direction.
No, I haven't defined anything in the opposite direction. Why? Just because if you remember the concept of the reflexive ACL, what does the reflexive ACL does? They create a mirror image or mirror ACL, right?
Correct.
Similar is the case with the zone pair also. We do not need to define the zone pair for the opposite traffic or the receiving traffic. It will be created automatically. Is it clear?
Okay. All right. That wasn't mentioned, that's why.
Yes.
I was just wondering.
Mr. Amit, any queries as of now related to the commands?
No, Prashant. I'll go again.
Okay, not an issue. Mr. Ben, Imranji.
Prashant, actually one doubt.
Yes.
So after we define zone pair, so the service policy command, I was not know this. I don't know this command. Like, what does the service policy do?
Basically, you have created a policy map, right? The policy
Yes.
map is something which is used to define the action. But where does this action needs to be performed? So this action needs to be performed on the traffic whenever it receives the traffic from the secure zone, which is heading to the insecure zone. Is it clear? So basically this zone pair is used to call the policy map. See, it is as similar to the ACL. In the ACL, you always call the ACL under an interface of the router. Am I correct? So similarly, you have to tell your router that whenever you are going to receive the traffic from the secure zone, which is forwarding to the insecure zone, you have to perform the action according to the policy map, which is having the name PMAP. Now, what does PMAP says? PMAP says, I will inspect the traffic which has been defined in the CMAP. Now, what does CMAP say? CMAP says that when a traffic has been initiated from the source IP 1.1.1 to the destination 3.3.3 for the telnet protocol, I will inspect the traffic. Okay. Rest of the traffic which is not defined here will be blocked automatically. Is it clear, Mr. Imran? I will prove this.
Yes,
However,
Prashant,
are you
it's
clear
clear
with
now.
this now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, let's go ahead. Now I have performed all the configuration. So right now, according to all the configuration, we have told our router R2, which is working as a zone-based firewall. If you receive any traffic from 1.1.1.1 to the destination 3.3.3.3, okay, the traffic is carrying the telnet traffic, okay, it should be inspected. Now, what does the inspection means? Inspection means you have to create a reflexive ACL. That means the traffic will be allowed. Is it clear? Now, let me just prove this. If I move to router R1, if I take telnet 3.3.3.3 for the source interface loopback 1, right? So you are able to see that router R1 has got the access. Everybody is clear? Now, if I run a command on my router, show zone pair, then sessions, show zone pair. Just hold on, but actually I'm forgetting that command. That command is a pretty long command. The command is show. Let me just put the question mark once. Show. Okay. So the command is okay. Show. Then policy map. Fine. Type, inspect, and zone pair sessions. So this is the command, show policy map, type, inspect, sessions. Now, if you just read out the output, it says you have created a zone pair which is named as secure to insecure, right? In this zone pair, you have called a policy map PMAP. And the PMAP says you have to match the traffic which is defined in the CMAP. Okay. And you have created an access list. And according to the access list, and you can see here, the traffic is being inspected. See, your router says that I have received a traffic from 1.1.1.1 having this random port number to the destination IP, this one. And it says the connection has been established. You can see. And now, if I move to router R1, you are able to execute the commands and you can see it is working absolutely fine, right? But now, if I just exit from this telnet session, okay, on router R1, let me just try to terminate the session from router R1. The session has been terminated. Now, if I run this command, show policy map type, do you see any sessions, something like this? No. Why? Just because it was a drawback in the reflexive ACL that once the packet has been forwarded, there will be a reflexive ACL which remains active for the next 300 seconds. But what happens in the zone-based firewall? Once the user has terminated the connection, the session will be closed immediately. Is it clear to everybody? Mr. Mike, are you clear with this?
Yes,
Mr. Ben?
Mr. Rash.
Yeah, please just proceed. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Mr. Amit, Imranji?
Good, good.
Yeah, it's clear, Mr.
Okay, thank you. Now you can see, okay, let's talk about this in more detail. When I run this command, show policy map type inspect zone, you can see that this is the configuration we have performed, right? But did I create something called class map and with the name class default? Did I create anything like this? So what happens whenever you create the class map on the router? Okay, your router will create a class map which is named as class default. Okay, let me just prove this. Just hold on. If I run this command, show class map type inspect, if I CMap, let me just write this CMap. Okay, so CMap. Okay, hold on. Show class map type inspect. Let's wait. Just wait. Show class map type control wedge inspect. Okay, however it is just showing the running configuration what you have configured. Let me just conclude you with this. So you have created this class map CMap, right? And in this class map you have called the access list Cisco, right? If now the thing is, how does this class map with the name class default comes up? So what happens whenever you configure class map on the router, your router will create a class default by itself. Okay, and the router says whatever traffic which does not matches the class map which user have created, it will match with the class default. And what is the action? The by default action is drop. That means if any traffic which is not mapped with the CMap, okay, that traffic will match with the class default CMap class default class map, and the traffic will be dropped. I can prove this. See, right now there is, if I move to router R2 on the zone-based firewall, just hold on. You can see there is no drop packet as of now. But if I execute the command ping 3.3.3.3 from router R1, so ping will be unsuccessful. And if I execute this command on router R2, show policy map, you can see there are 4 drop packets, right? That means the traffic which is not matched with the CMap, it will be matched with the by default class map which has been created by your router class default. And you can see there are 5 packets have been dropped. Is it clear to everybody? So whenever there will be a class map configuration, the class map with the name class default will be created by your router automatically, and any router which does not matches the user class map, it will be matches with the by default created class map, and the by default action is drop. And for the user created class map, what is the action we defined? The action we defined is inspect. Everyone is clear with this?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just run the couple of commands to show you the output. First of all, show, let me just conclude with the show commands now. Show zone security. With this command, you will be able to see what zones you have created on the routers as an administrator and which interfaces have been assigned in that particular zone, right? That's the first show command. Second command which you can run on your router is to check the show zone pair security. So with this command, you will be able to see which zone pair you have created, what is the name of the zone pair, what is the source zone, okay, what is the source zone, what is the destination zone, and which policy map you have called. Now show class map type inspect. With this command, you will be able to see what class map you have created on your router. With this command, you will be able to see what policy map you have created on the router. Is it clear? See, you have created a policy map with the name pmap, and what a class map you have called cmap, and the action was inspect. There is a by default class map whose action is drop. Since you have not created this, but it will happen automatically. It is exactly similar to the ACL. Whenever you give permit statement on the ACL, there is an implicit deny at the end, right? Deny any. Similar is the case here. Okay. Now, if anyone is having any query till this point, please let me know. Any queries, guys? Related to the configuration part, related to the zone-based firewall, whatever we have discussed as of now. Mr. Amit, Mr. Ben, Mr. Imranji, and Mr. Mike, any queries?
No, I'll visit the video.
Oh, not for me,
again.
Prashant. You can proceed.
Okay. So everyone is fine with all the configuration as of now. Now, I told you whenever you are going to configure the class map on the router, okay, the class map is used to define the traffic, right? Now, I told you that you can define the traffic in two ways on the router. Either you can create the ACL, right, guys? I told you either you can define the ACL or you can directly define the protocol. So now I am going to perform the next task on the router. Note add. So there will be task 2. Now what does task 2 says? Traffic from insecure zone, okay, to secure zone should be inspected for HTTP. Is it clear to everybody? So now what I want in second task, just hold on. In the second task, there is a router R1, there is a router R2, and then we have router R3. R3 is configured with the IP address 3.3.3.3. R1 is configured with 1.1.1.1. It is configured with 12.1.1.1. It is configured with 12.1.1.2. 23.1.1.1.2, 23.1.1.1.3. Okay, now the second task is I want this zone-based firewall to inspect the traffic which is coming from the insecure zone, okay, and moving to the secure zone, okay, for the HTTP traffic. Okay, now I'm not going to define the IP address. I'm just concerned with the protocol type. Fine, I would like my router to inspect this traffic. Inspection means your router will allow this traffic, rest all of the traffic will be blocked. As simple as that. Fine. So let's proceed with the configuration. Now, what is the first step to do this thing? Everybody, just be proactive. I just told you the configuration part. The first step is to create the zones. We have already created the zones on the router, right? I do not need to do this. The second step is to configure the interfaces with the zone. We have already configured the interfaces with the zone. Now, what is the second step? Second step is to configure class map. Now, from here, our task begins, the task 2. I need to define the traffic, but not with the ACL, but according to the protocol. So what I will do, move to router R2. We will directly start with the step 3 to define traffic as per class map using protocol. Okay. So what we need to do, I need to create a class map. And what will be the name of class map? Type inspect. Let's suppose the name of the class map is CMap1. Is it clear? I'm giving a different name now. Class map type inspect CMap1. Then you have the option to perform the description, or you can just directly match. What I would like to match? I would like to match, either I can define the ACL, which we have performed in the task 1, or I can define the protocol. So I would like to define the protocol. Put question mark. There are some bunches of protocols which you can define. There is some HTTP and HTTPS, as you can see. Okay. So I would like to match HTTP. Done. That's it. We have created the class map. You can run this command. Do show class map type inspect. So your router says you have created a class map with the name CMap1. In this class map, you have matched the protocol HTTP. Done. Let me just copy this one. Step 3. Why this keyword match all is there? I will talk about this in the tomorrow's class, but not today. Then we have to configure the step 4. What is step 4? Step 4 is to configure the policy map, right guys? So in the policy map, write down the policy map, then type inspect, and then the name of the policy map, PMap1. And here we need to call the class map on which traffic you need to perform the action. So class type, and then you have to write inspect, and then what is the name of the class map? The name of the class map is CMap1. Now what action you would like to perform right now? If I put the drop, that means all the packet will be dropped. But right now we are just going to talk about the inspect only. Okay, so I would like to inspect the traffic. Inspect. That is it. Okay, now finally, just wait. Do show run pipe section policy map. We have created this policy map. Let me just copy this, copy on the notepad. Step 4. We have created the policy map. Fine. Finally, what we need to do? We need to create the zone pair. So how do we need to create the zone pair? That's pretty simple. And what is the configuration? Zone pair, right? And then security keyword. And then now I need to define the name of the zone pair. Already I am having a zone pair named secure to insecure, but now I'm talking about insecure to secure, right? According to my task. Put question mark. What is the source zone? Source zone is going to be insecure. What will be the destination zone? It will be going to be the secure. And here I need to call the policy map, service policy, and then type. And what is the name of my policy map? That is, sorry, inspect PMap1. Do show run pipe section policy map. Sorry. So this is what you have created here. See, I have not configured this class default, but it is automatically there. Okay. Copy on the notepad. Now we have performed all the configurations, right? Now we want our router R2 to monitor all the traffic whenever it is forwarded from insecure zone to secure zone for the HTTP, right? And it will be inspection means the traffic will be allowed. But before that, at least enable the HTTP on the router. At least enable it, only then you will be able to access the service, right? So how to configure HTTP on a router? Just move to router R1, enable configuration terminal. You can just simply run a command IP HTTP server. That is it. And this command is sufficient enough to configure the HTTP on the router. That is it. Okay. Now, if I move to router R3 and if I try to take the HTTP access, now how will I take the HTTP access from router R3? HTTP means it's a GUI, right? So if you are not having the GUI, so what you can do through the CLI, you can just telnet that IP. You can just telnet that IP, okay, whatever IP it is, on the port number. So I have defined my router R3 that whenever you will be taking the telnet, please use the source port number as 80. And even if what is source port number 80 means that it is a HTTP traffic, right? That's it. If I execute the command, it says it is open. Why it is open? Open means that you have able to take the GUI, you have able to take the HTTP successfully. It is open, right? See, on the router R2, if I run this command, show zone pair show policy map type, show policy map type, inspect, and then zone pair sessions. You can see here router says that there is a connection initiated from 20.3.3.3 having this random port number. The destination port number is what? 80. Is it clear to everybody? Now, okay, so that means it is working fine. Move to router R3, exit. So connection has been terminated. If I run this command again, you will not be able to see any session, established session. Are you able to see? No. Is it clear? Now, if I try to ping 1.1.1.1, the ping will not be successful. Why? Because this traffic has not been matched. Previously, the drop packet is 0, but if I run this command, you can see the drop packet is 5. I hope this all the practical is clear to everybody. Mr. Amit, do you have any query?
Not sure.
Ben?
No.
Okay,
No,
Mr.
I'm
Mike?
good, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a question. You can ask. That's
Yes,
just the last
please
minute.
go ahead.
Yeah. So for each given interface, you can only apply one policy, right? You cannot,
Yes,
have
absolutely.
multiple. You
Mhm.
can't have multiple policies on the same interface. So that
Mhm.
said, what if on that same router, right, you also want to do some QoS policies, right?
Okay,
How then is
again,
it? Which one's going to
yes.
take precedence, and which one? How are you gonna sort of
Okay,
like?
again, so Mike, I would like to tell you one thing. So when you talk about the quality of service or when you talk about the zone-based firewall, both are different things. Because I told you, whenever I'm going to talk about the zone, the quality of service, we always configure class map, right? And the class map is configured something like this. I can just directly give the name. Fine. Let's suppose the name is ABC. That's it. This class map is used to configure for the quality of service. But what we are doing, we are using class map type inspect. Are you able to understand?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that when time comes to apply the policy, right,
Mhm.
and you're doing QoS and zone-based
zone-based
firewall
firewall.
on the
Mhm.
same device,
Oh,
right,
yes.
where you have to apply a policy
Mhm.
supporting both QoS and zone-based firewalling, right? How are you
Absolutely.
gonna, how's that gonna, pan out?
Okay, so
it's
basically, let me tell you, the quality of service, or let's suppose that I can put a question in such a manner. Let's suppose that if I put an ACL on the interface of the router, okay, and also I have configured the zone-based firewall, which will have the precedence, or which will be preferred first, which will have the higher priority. So let me tell you, when you configure the quality of service, when you configure the access list on the routers, these will always have the higher priority as compared to the zone-based firewall. First of all, your routers are going to check the ACL, or your routers are going to inspect the traffic according to the quality of service, and then your router will process the traffic according to the zone-based firewall. So zone-based firewall will never be passed out. It will never be bypassed, but yes, the router is going to process the quality of service, or you can say the ACL first, and then the zone-based firewall will come into the action.
Okay, that answers my question.
Okay. Any more queries, Mr. Imran?
No, Prashant, I'm good.
Okay, fine. So we have concluded the two practical. The first practical was done using the class map with the access list. The second practical was done using the class map with the matching the protocol. Okay. Now I would like to talk about something called self zone. I told you, whenever you are going to create zones on the router, show zone security, you can see there is a self zone. Let's talk about this. Okay, so basically this self zone on a router, okay, it is by default created, and this self zone is used for all the traffic to the zone-based firewall. Is it clear? So basically, on the router on which you have created the zone-based firewall policies, the self zone will be used for that traffic. Okay, how? Let me just prove this. Right now, if I talk up, let's move to router R3. Okay, right now we are on R3. You can see, if I try to ping the IP address 23.0.0.2, that is the IP address of router R2 on which you have configured zone-based firewall, right? Right now I am able to ping. Also, let me just configure telnet on the zone-based firewall. Line VTY024. Okay, and no login, transport input, all. Move to router R3. You are telnet 23.0.0.2. You are able to take the telnet. So basically, this self zone on the router is used to restrict or permit the traffic for the firewall to the device traffic. Okay, how? Let me just prove you. Let's suppose that on the router R2, okay, there is a class map. Let me just create a class map. Class map type inspect. Okay, and let me just name it self. And then here I would like to match the protocol telnet. That is it. Then I would like to create a policy map. Policy map type inspect self. I can have the same name for the policy map and the class map. Here I will call the class map class, then type inspect, and what is the name of the class map which we have configured here? It is self. Done. And what is my action? I would like my action to drop. Now I'm going to use this action drop over here. Instead of inspect, I would like to use the drop. Exit. Now what is the step 5? I have to create the zone pair. Now try to understand. Zone pair, and then security. We have to define the name of the zone pair. These are already to created zone pair. Let me just call it ABC. Then I have to define the source. My source is insecure. I want that any user from insecure zone should not be able to take the telnet of my router RT. Okay. So source is insecure. What is destination? Now in the destination, you can see self zone, which I have not created, right? It is by default there. So let me just use the self zone. Okay. And then call the policy map. Service, policy, type, inspect. What is the name of your policy map which you have created? It is self, right, guys? Sorry, it is self. Class map. Just see here. You have created a policy map type self. Action is dropped. So I will call this self policy map. That's it. So you can see I have not created this self zone. It is by default there. I just have created a class map and a policy map. That's it. Now, if I try to take the access from R3, previously I was able to take the telnet, but now it is trying. That means the packet is being dropped. Is it clear to everybody? Any queries related to the self zone now? All of you, Mr. Ben, Mr. Mike,
Yes,
clear with the self zone now?
yes.
Okay, fine. Imranji, do you have any query?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so that's all for today. That's the end. And tomorrow I will start with something called advanced zone based firewall. In the advanced zone based firewall, we will discuss more things in bit detail. I will be concluding some other practicals for the zone based firewall. Okay, and that's all for today. So if you have any queries, you can just let me know. Rest, wind up the session. Thank you so much.
All right.